Alright, what is going on, people of the internet, and welcome back to another episode of Ark Max Speed, and today we're going to be looking at the Ravager, which is honestly one of my favorite new mounts that was added in Aberrations. I thought it was going to be really good. It turns out to be just kind of okay. I mean, it's definitely one of the best ones on this region, but there are a lot of things that it kind of lacks that you only realize later on in the game. But nonetheless, the Ravager is one of my absolute favorite creatures. I love how this thing looks. I love how it moves. The jumping is amazing. It barely takes any fall damage, so welcome back to Max Speed 2.0, now featuring saddles due to popular request of like one person. But anyway, let's get right into it.
Hey guys, it's Butterman and I'm getting high. Ah! All I wanted to do was grow some shrooms!
If you've been playing Aberration for any matter of time, you probably remember the Ravager as the, crap, I just died for the 14th time in a row in the easiest spawn location creature. Of course, while these things have a Nash ability, which is reminiscent of that one on the Allosaur and the Giga. Unfortunately, tamed, I don't believe that they possess this, but fun fact, the wiki actually states that when you're going to try and face off against a Reaper Queen or a Reaper King, you're supposed to use a pack of high-level Ravagers because of their ability to Nash and deal % health damage, which actually takes about 10% of the health. Even though you can't utilize it on a tame creature, the wiki still recommends you to use it when you're fighting against a high-level creature like the Reaper Queen. Ravagers also get pack boosting, which is quite useful, and there is an alpha one that I don't believe explicitly tells you how much you get a stat buff, but I think it's around 25 to 33%, so it kind of stacks like imprinting. And Ravagers do get really quick once you start to put a little bit of movement speed, as you'll see here shortly. They already do have a pretty good amount of speed as it is in baseline, but Ravagers can get really fast, and they can easily outrun Rock Drakes, and if it weren't for the fact that they take radiation damage, I think that they'd be a much bigger force in the industry of going and grabbing rock drake eggs for the first time, because obviously you use rock drakes once you've gotten one to go and get more successive eggs, but a Ravager would easily do the same job that a very high speed human would be able to if it weren't for the fact that it takes a crap ton of radiation damage, as you'll see here shortly. The route that I'm going to be taking you on in this video is going to be the one that I always use to go out and get shine horns for myself and my tribe. And even more further than that, we go and get featherlights sometimes too. So it's pretty far down to the blue area. We're going to be starting at about, well, I don't know exactly the coordinates, but I'm tempted to say it's around 50 longitude or latitude, whichever one is the middle of the map. And this is the entrance that I frequently most use to go and grab things, because there's a zip line that leads you right down the middle. That was what I forgot to mention. Ravagers use zip lines, and it is amazing. They can go up zip lines, they can go down zip lines. If you're a player, you can only go up zip lines once you've gotten the little pant attachment, which runs on gasoline, but a Ravager can just do it whenever they want to. They have a lot of carrying, and you saw the stats on this one here. It starts out with 3,600 health, which is pretty good, and this one actually had a pretty high melee damage, but it has really low weight, surprisingly. Most of the Ravagers that I've tamed so far come out with about 1,300 weight, or a little more than that. But this one only came out with about 800, so I think it got a pretty low roll into weight, and most of it went into melee damage, so keep in mind Ravagers are going to be really good. They can easily carry more than Spinos, despite the fact that Spinos may be a bit better for going down to the radiated areas because of the fact that they don't have to worry about all the things that the Ravager does. The Ravager really only shows its problems really late into the game when you want to do stuff like I'm going to be showing you in this video, because they're very weak to a lot of things down here in the blue area, and even further into the purple area, because of the fact that there's baryonic stuns, electrophorus stuns, there is megalosaurus that'll be the bane of your existence, because these things never go to bed, and that's the only reason that they're weak on Ark, is because they go to bed. And once you take that away on this map, it's a nightmare. They're so fast. I never knew how quick these things were until I was trying to outrun one in order to keep my Ravager alive. I always used Ravagers because of the fact that the server that I'm playing on is only using 1 times XP, so I've only now unlocked Spinos. And of course, that breeding program is going into place real quick. But I always use Ravagers for going and getting anything on the map. They're really quite good at it because of the fact that they're so fast, they can carry so much, and they're just great venturing mounts, and a max speed build really does work on this. As you can see, it's very quick, and it's easily capable of outrunning anything. We're going to be coming up to a rock drake very shortly, and I'm going to aggro it, and I'm going to reveal it so that it's easier to see, just in case it doesn't come through too well on YouTube, because they're pretty easy to see in-game, but on YouTube I'm not sure about it. But you're going to be able to see it. We easily outrun the rock drake. That's something to keep in mind with the Ravager, because rock drakes are going to become pretty common enemies once you go back to where I am showing you off here. Swimming is still pretty bad. The Ravager is pretty reminiscent of a Thylacoleo, but you can see here that's what they're really weak to. That Megalosaurus, I never saw it. It just came up right behind me and nabbed me because it Didn't have to worry about slowing down in the water because it's got longer legs. Grabbed me off the Ravager. There would have been nothing I could have done. That Ravager would have died. And I lost a lot of Ravagers doing this long ago in the game. So you can see here's the Rock Drake. It's got its cloak up. But we're going to go ahead and aggro it so it chases after us and nibble on it to break its cloak. It gets a little bit stuck in these undersurface trees. I don't really know what to call them. But I'm going to get it unstuck, and you're going to see that this has absolutely no problems with outspeeding them. So if you ever want to go get Featherlights before you have Spinos unlocked, you're going to want to use a Ravager for it, because I couldn't honestly recommend something better than that. Maybe like a Crab, because of the fact that you can't get grabbed off them by Megalosaurus or stunned by Purlovias. By the way, Purlovias are in this map. I didn't think they were, but that was an unwelcome surprise. But at least we don't have aberrant Pegomastax or Ichthyornis going and stealing all of our Rock Drake eggs and eating them. So that's a bit of a benefit, I suppose. This is the final turnoff before heading into the radiation area. You can see here the... I was surprised by that even in post-processing. Anyway, I hate Purlovias. In other news, water is wet. You're going to be seeing here, as soon as we cross over into this area, oh, of course, there's a Featherlight here just to show you where they started to spawn at. So as you go into the blue, into the purple, and into the black area, the Featherlights start to spawn in. Radiation's starting to become a bit of a problem here, and watch, if you can, in the top right corner at my health. It's ticking away really fast. It's going down at about 5 per second, and that's why these Ravagers aren't as good as I was hoping they were going to be, because of the fact that I wanted to use them for gathering Rock Drake eggs. Up ahead, you can see a Reaper King or Queen. I'm still not too sure. I don't think it matters. It's really scary nonetheless. So, can you outrun one of those? I've never actually encountered one of these in one of my games. The answer is big fat no. Those things are stupid fast. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I got here. My character has infinite stats on, and we're going to be able to get our Ravager back here really quickly. But do watch how weak it is to all these forms of stuns and CC and crowd control, because of the fact that you really don't want to get stuck at any point with the Ravager. If you stop moving, you're dead, and stamina won't last you forever. It's really good on the Ravager. They feel like a reskinned Thylacoleo, honestly. They just have worse swimming and can't climb. But to compensate for the non-climbing, they have the ability to move up and down zip lines. So you can see that Reaper was gaining on us. It didn't catch us ever, but it had absolutely got us if it was, you know, dedicated enough to chase. So, be careful of that on your Ravagers, all you low-level players out there. Be careful, because you don't need to die to that. Either way, though, I really do love the Ravager still. It has a lot of weak points. I mean, what the fuck just happened to that Nameless? I just bit it and it disappeared. Anyway, I do love the Ravager. I think they look really cool. And originally I wasn't such a fan of the design, but getting more and more into it, I really do like the Ravager. It's such a great mount. It doesn't get the love it deserves, I don't feel like. It should get... I heard that they got nerfed on their melee damage, and I feel like that shouldn't be the case because of the fact that the thing that makes them strong is a Nash, and that's only wild, and it's always a % damage. But either way, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next episode of whatever I make. Thanks for watching. Peace. Shout out to who recommended the comment. I can't remember the name. I forgot to do that until now. But anyway, here they are on screen. Congrats. Next upvoted comment wins the next max speed. Peace.